unidentified gross objects. That's right, UGOs means unidentified gross objects. But there's also I.G.Os, which means identified gross objects. You know what I'm talking about here? I remember one time, back when I was about 9 years old, somebody said there was a UGO wiped on the wall, and I didn't know what that meant. I was at home. It was in the bedroom, and somebody said there's a UGO on the wall, and I said, what does that mean? They said an unidentified gross object, and there was. It looked like somebody had taken a bunch of some chewed up food or something and wiped it on the wall. And I remember exactly where it was. It was where we entered the bedroom. But that was an unidentified gross object. It was like, I don't know what it was. But then, of course, that gave way to identified gross object. An I.G.O. That's right. That's how I remembered it. Was when I was about 9 years old, because it was when that song I.G.Y was out. Remember that? That's right. The guy from Steely Dan had that song called I.G.Y. What a beautiful world. That song. That's right. So that's how I know it was when I was about 9 years old when this was going on. But that's right. UGOs gave way to I.G.Os. And I.G.Os were usually boogers. That's right. They were. Somebody used to wipe boogers on the wall. They did. And we could never figure out who was doing this. But they kept doing it over and over again. They would just wipe boogers on the wall. And, and it was funny too, and that started when I was about 9, and it continued for years after that. And we could never figure out who was doing it. And of course, I would always my mom tried blaming me for it, but it wasn't me. And she always said, if I find another booger on the wall, I swear, Tim. But she always said that. But it wasn't me who was doing it. That's right. Somebody was wiping boogers on the wall all over the house. And you ever get library books where there was boogers wiped on the pages? But that was they were I.G.Os. And I'm going to check the internet here. The Occupy pages here on Facebook. Wow, let's see. Occupy. Woo, man, Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Wall Street's on fire today. Their Facebook page is already up to 368,436 fans. And there's 30,033 people talking about it. Man, 30,000 just talking about it right at this moment. Occupy Cincinnati itself is up to over 11,000. But now, I don't understand it. See, Occupy Cincinnati, they have over 11,000 people making demands, and that's just Cincinnati alone. Occupy Wall Street has almost 370,000. But yet they don't want to make demands. They said, well, we're not big enough yet to make demands. But Congress makes demands. Occupy Wall Street has almost 370,000 members. Yet Congress has 535 members. 535 voting members. Yet Congress makes demands all the time. So why can't Occupy Wall Street make demands? Let's see. Occupy 370 divided by 535. Occupy Wall Street is almost 700 times the size of Congress, but won't make demands yet. But Congress makes demands with only 535 members. Now see, which is more of a representative system to you? See, Occupy Wall Street, that's more of a representative system than Congress is, because Occupy Wall Street actually has its own general assemblies, and all the local occupies all have their own general assemblies. They're big enough to make not just requests but demands. So the demand phase is going to start coming soon. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's right. The demand phase is looming. It's approaching in the very near future. So, yeah, but that I.G.Os. Those were I.G.Os. The identified gross objects. And U.G.Os were sort of faded out and were replaced by I.G.Os. You know, because I think I.G.Os were in greater supply. So it became more economical to place I.G.Os. I mean, because nobody even knew, I think, now U.G.Os, nobody knew what U.G.Os were even made of. So how could you make a U.G.O? If a U.G.O is unidentified, so how would you know how to make a U.G.O? See? They just sort of had to happen. And then, of course, there were the cultures. I would take, like, disgusting, like, rotten pieces of food and try to... I was around the same time, I guess I was about 9. I was about 9 years old. I would save, like, rotten hunks of food and stuff. And bubble gum and that type of stuff. I would save them for years just to see what would happen to them. I just had them taped to a paper bag. But poor my mom got mad at that. I think I even tried saving a booger. Well, I'll talk about that more in detail some other time, because that was funny. I just now thought, I hadn't thought of that in years. But that was right around the same time. That's just, the I.G.Os made me think of that. So Facebook is Occupy Cincinnati. Of course, there's going to be another big event coming up. And I don't think the weather's even going to matter. But, a boogie. Since this is going to go on weather-wise or not. So we're gonna have to see what's in store. We're gonna have to see what looms for us. So don't let the I.G.Os bite, because you never know when an I.G.O is going to leap out of the wall and just go and slimy you.